Okay, so today, SPY's daily net gamma decreased. Microsoft's off to a hot start. Let me check on my position. It's probably not up because I have like 500 calls for today, so I'm not expiring today. I'm not sure. I don't think they'll be up, but let me check. Oh my gosh! Wait, no, they're not up. Sorry, I thought I was up. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for screaming. I thought I was up. But negative 28% on my Microsoft 500 calls expiring today. Hopefully, I can get into profit on these. Microsoft's moving right now, though, so that's good. Very bullish activity on Microsoft. I would recommend buying the dip. If there's any dip, I would recommend buying that. Microsoft just really wants to break out. Nvidia off to a bearish start. Apple off to a very bullish start. Let's see. Wow, spot gamma is really big on Apple. Lots of positive gamma there. Nvidia seeing some put selling, so price could actually pop on Nvidia because Nvidia just saw a lot of put selling. Big spike in net call premium on Nvidia right now. If you see my screen, huge spike, huge spike. If there's anyone here in Atlantic, you can't see my screen. Let me go ahead and share that now. Sorry, no one ever joins in Atlantic, so it can get kind of forgetful here. So I see that Buffy Melps is here, so thank you for joining. Hopefully we're able to get a good trade. Wow, Spy off to that bullish start here. Let me take a close look at Spy. Spy looks really good, guys, on the daily. Um, Looking for pullbacks on Spy. Looking for pullbacks on Spy. I am keeping an eye on this net volume right here, though, because that net volume is a bit flip floppy at the moment. So I want to make sure that this net volume grows. Right now, it's very low at only 10,000. So it's not. We're not. I'm not missing a move right now, and I'm pretty all right with this big pop. It's a good sign. It just means that I'm gonna go ahead and wait for a little pullback, or perhaps maybe I might even buy some calls here and just expect that momentum to go. Buying calls here and expecting that momentum to go is not a bad idea for Spy. I am looking at my broker right now. I am on Spy, and I am ready to buy some Spy calls if I do see it fit. So I would recommend that you also kind of do some due diligence. Looks like Spy has some really good strength right now. And it looks like 767 calls are about a buck 30. I'm gonna go ahead and get into some of those and see what momentum I can gain from this. Let's see here. Let me check a few things. I'm looking at Spy calls right now. These are gonna be zero DTE calls. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab some of these. I think we're really seeing some big momentum right now. Or you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for a pullback because surely we will have a pullback. So I'm gonna wait for a pullback on Spy. But if you are in, I think that that's a good position because we're seeing a lot of bullish momentum. Let's see what the gamma exposure looks like. Let's see. Okay, so we're at 766. There is a lot of negative gamma above price though. So you want to be careful here. So that's why I say I want to be patient. I'm going to wait for a dip. You know, a lot of negative gamma above price. I'm going to wait for a little dip. And then that way I can see if I can get in on Spy. So let's see, let's see if we get that dip on Spy. I'm going to wait for a dip. Apple's off to the races. Nvidia saw that big call premium spike and it just exploded right after that. So guys, I can't catch everything. You know what I mean? So I did mention that Nvidia exploded. Hopefully someone caught that. But if you didn't, I didn't either, so don't feel bad. But right now, everything's looking really bullish. Remember, daily net gamma increased today, right? Lightly, very, very lightly though, so you don't want to get faked out or anything. But we're not off to a bearish start, surely. So just be careful because, like I did mention in the pre-market note, there's a lot of negative spot gamma below price on SPY. A ton of negative gamma below price on SPY. So I just want to be careful with that. Microsoft is moving higher, man. I really would like to see it go to 490, 499, man. I need my calls to go green, dude. So let me go ahead and do some management real quick. Give me a few moments here. I think you should consider risk tolerance here, comma, I am down negative 25% on Microsoft 500 calls, period. I personally will decide to stay in, comma, but you don't have to follow me, period. Feel free to cut the contract at a salvage if you want, period. Nice pop, Microsoft. Give me a few moments here, guys. I'm just managing my portfolio here. Wow, really big pop on Microsoft. Let's go, boys and girls. I'm in the green. I'm in the green on Microsoft. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh, 22% on Microsoft, guys. I told you guys. I told you guys, bro. Microsoft, dude, just totally like lagged forever, dude. I told you guys, dude, 27%, guys. 27%. Oh my gosh. This thing might just go. Microsoft. Oh my gosh. Can you go to 500? Guys, we're green on Microsoft, guys. Please do some due diligence. Oh my gosh, that was crazy, dude. If you're not in Microsoft, this dip is buyable. If you are not in Microsoft, this dip is buyable. We have a lot of momentum today. And net call premium just moved higher. Net call premium is at 6.8, as you can see, 6.8 million. Let's see if we get to 7. If we get to 7 and volume goes to maybe 11K, right now volume is at 10.7. So net call premium at 6.8, volume at 10.7. Let's check back in a few seconds. I think you should buy this dip on Microsoft, guys. I really think that this thing can go for the day. It's been consolidating for a while, and it looks like it's coming out strong today, and it wants something today. So, if I were you, the EMA is a pretty good entry point typically. So be patient and see if it if it drops to that EMA. I really do think if net positive volume stays on on the net flow here, I really think that this dip is going to be eaten up so quickly. So let's keep an eye and see, if we're able to enter on this dip. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I did not sell when it popped, man. I tried to, but I couldn't. I never got. I never got filled. So I'm still in Microsoft, man. Sucks. Um, yeah, dude. I'm still in. Man, VDZ's on my butt, man. Oh man, Microsoft, come on, baby. Wow, good job, Remora. Nice one. Very nice. Oh man, come on. I still think that this dip is gonna get eaten up on Microsoft. Let's see what they're trading. Oh, 495 call, 0 DTE. Volume exceeded OI right here. Do you guys see that? They're hitting these for 25K, 25.4. Whoops. 25.5, guys. You see this? It's moving right before my eyes, baby. 25.5. Let's see if we could get 26K, baby, on these Microsoft 495 calls. They're adding a little bit on here, but they haven't gone anywhere. They went from 175 to 275, probably, actually. So maybe they did go somewhere, right? But let's see if they want more. Come on, baby. Again, I'm going to say it one last time. I really think that this dip is going to get eaten up, guys. So if you're not in Microsoft, this dip is a juicy one right here. Let's check out gamma exposure on the heat map for Microsoft, see what they're hitting on the 0 DTEs. Come on, baby, show me the money. August 26th, here we are. Yes, sir, there's the money. There's the money. The money is 495 long gamma with 485 million, 497 long gamma with 241 million, and even 500 possibly with 153 million. Barely no negative gamma below price, and the net gamma is 900 million. So this is going to be an interesting day for Microsoft. If we can get it to 497.5, I really think that that's something that perhaps that they want. Let's check out the gamma exposure by total volume and see what that looks like, right? So total volume on the day is extremely positive. Total volume gamma exposure for Microsoft is extremely positive. I don't know if we can squeeze, but the data is there. The data is there. It's an early day, and I'm not sure. We'll see if we can get this train going on Microsoft. Let's see. Right now, net call premiums have stalled. They've stalled, and I don't really like that. They're still at 6.5 million. So it makes it a bit difficult for me to say that we're gonna move quickly. But surely, it's bullish. We're seeing net positive volume that's growing and consistent. Net puts are flat. Net calls are high, but I would like to see net calls continue to increase, and that's what's going on with Microsoft right now. Okay, that's the price to premium gap, and you can see the price to premium gap. This is what I alerted in the Discord. Right, the price to premium gap. You see that price is up here above 495. Or excuse me, net calls is up here above 495, and price is actually low here at 490 or 487. So again, net calls outpacing price to the upside. Price is down here. Net calls are up here. We got a ton of what? Net positive volume. I mean, I think Microsoft is an A plus setup. Let's see if we can get that moving today. Like I said, I'm still in my trade, so that's what I'm in right now, guys. Okay. What else? I'm probably missing a ton of stuff. So just so you know, that's typically what happens. Apple, right? I mentioned Apple. I mentioned Apple was off to a hot start. They were hitting those 312s, 0 DTEs. Volume just exceeded OI though, not that long ago. So from there, it looks like they got about from 67 to 103. I think maybe if Apple pulls back, you might be able to buy that dip, guys. Right now, the Mac 7 are looking quite strong. I wonder if we get a really green day. We haven't had one of those in a while. We've been kind of breaking out, or excuse me, chopping. I wonder if we break out. So let's see. I'm optimistic right now. I know I am. I know I'm optimistic only because I'm in the trade. But Apple is a really good setup, guys. Let's see if we can find anything else. Nvidia, let's check those out. I saw some OI increase. We got some net positive volume on Nvidia with net calls outpacing price, guys. I think that's a good setup for longs. So if you want to try longs for Nvidia, I think that's a really good setup. But I don't like how volatile net put premiums are. You see how they're dropping and then rising like that. You want to be careful with that, okay? So the main thing that you want to do is you want to keep an eye on net volume. If net volume continues to increase, then that would be a good sign for you to get into Nvidia, okay? So right now though, it's looking. I wouldn't be shorting Nvidia. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be shorting Nvidia. It looks like this put spike. It looks like this put spike is only from puts from for 100 days out. And it looks like someone. What did they do? Oh, they're shorting puts. They're shorting puts. Look at this, guys. This person is shorting Nvidia puts ahead of earnings. This is incredible. They're shorting Nvidia puts ahead of earnings, guys. Nvidia's gonna pop right now. I said it. Hello. You can get in. I think you can get into Nvidia. Net calls is moving real high right now. Let's check out the price action on Microsoft real quick. Microsoft is stuck. Wow. That's interesting. Be careful with Microsoft because I don't like the way that it's stalled right now. So if you're in Microsoft, I think maybe you should, if you're getting nervous, if your size too big, maybe reduce your size because right now it's kind of stalled a bit. I do think that it will retest though. I do think that it will retest. Easy money, it's gonna retest for sure. Oh, it looks like net calls just spiked, guys. It's back up to 6.5 mil for Microsoft. Remember, I'm in Microsoft calls right now, so it's not like I'm just missing trades. I'm actually in a trade right now, so I'm not eager to take another setup unless it's A plus and clear. Which again, I do think that Microsoft is that best setup right now. So give me a few moments here. I'm gonna manage my positions. even this SPY dip is looking kind of juicy. But boy, Microsoft's kind of stalling right now. But it's looking strong though. It's perked up and it's sitting on those EMAs. And again, that spot gamma is looking quite strong. Total volume for Microsoft, total volume gamma exposure is looking quite strong. Spot gamma is looking really, really strong. Even the overview, when you look at the overview for gamma exposure for Microsoft, it's a very supported environment. This map here, all this green and all this yellow just means that it's very supported. So Microsoft is very well liquidity, is very well supplied with liquidity. That's what gamma exposure means, right? So I say that all the time. You're going to hear a lot of willy-nilly definitions about gamma exposure, and you're going to be like, dude, how do I use this junk, right? All it means is that the bread store owner increased inventory. He put more bread on the shelves. Why did he put more bread on the shelves? He expected more buyers to come in. So when you're looking at gamma exposure and you see that there is a positive gamma exposure like we see here, right? It's a supportive environment. When there's positive gamma exposure, or even if we look on the daily gamma exposure, you see all these purple bars? That means that that's all long gamma. This is all long gamma. If you look at Microsoft's last, perhaps maybe even close to a month, close to in the last 1 month, it's been all green. Look at the net gamma here on the gamma exposure table, right? It's been all net green, right? Green, 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 green. If you go back for over a month, way back into July, it's been well supplied since Microsoft was 370, 380, right? So I think it's time for Microsoft to break out maybe to the 500s, dude. And that's why I'm in those 500 lottos, man. But I just haven't been getting the move that I need. And it's been tough. But nonetheless, here we are. Let's see. Apple is on a tear. Apple's having a field day. I think, again, this is a good entry point, if you will, for a lot of things right now. You know, so if you have the balls and you want to go ahead and just, you know, Apple's looking great, bro. Oh my gosh, dude. Let's go, Apple. Guys, I'm you know, you got to do some due diligence. Apple, we see a net positive volume that's growing in a mountain-like direction, which is something that I teach constantly. So all we need now is for premium to outpace price, and there goes Apple, baby. Are you smiling right now? Come on, Microsoft, wake up. Wake up, baby. It's time to get going. So those 495 calls are up to 30K. This is the dip. This is the dip that I expect them to buy. Maybe perhaps they might get it down to 175 per contract, maybe 150 at the lowest, if you will. But I do think that they're going to hit this at some point in the day for upwards of maybe even 50K. Right now they're up to 30K and they continue to add on this. So I don't know. Microsoft wants to make a move. And that's what it's been showing all week. And that's why I've been in these calls all week. You know, so do I get the move today? I don't know. I just don't know. But, you know, Microsoft is in the play right now. And so is Apple. Nvidia, I'm not liking Nvidia too much right now. Net put premiums and net calls are both positive, and net puts are rising. So that means that they're interested in both calls and puts. You know, and I'm just not. I'm not. You know, wanting to be a part of that. Same thing with Tesla, right? Let's check out Amazon. Amazon's on the move right now, isn't it? Yeah. So it's moved from negative volume to positive volume, a little peak of positive volume, right? So what you want to do, nice job, Footstep. What you want to do is look to see if puts come down on Amazon. If puts come down on Amazon, I think it can continue to move higher. Let's check out the 2 day and see what's going on there. Net volume has been a bit mediocre, a bit flip floppy, right? So I'm not really liking that. So Amazon's not really clear right now. Let's get back to Microsoft and see what it's doing. Okay. So do some due diligence here on Microsoft, right? Do some due diligence. Give me a few moments here. I'm gonna do some due diligence myself. Apple's on the move, guys. Apple's moving right now, and you know what? So is Microsoft, dude. Both of these guys want to move, man. And I'm not too good at charting, but that to me that looks like a little bull flag action with some strong supportive EMAs below. I think if we continue to add on those 495 calls, maybe if we see 35K on that, I think maybe we can retest highs of 497, maybe even push to 499, and God willing, baby, 500. That'd be super dope, right? So let's see what happens here with Microsoft. But I'm gonna do some due diligence, you know, so I don't get too nervous here. Okay. Microsoft is fighting right now, dude. Okay, I guess I should check the chat. I closed my Microsoft for profit before. Good job. Very nice. Very happy for you. Let's go. Let's go. I think Microsoft can, man, dude, it can get going, man. Let's check out that gamma exposure on Microsoft. Total volume gamma exposure on Microsoft is 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion, 1.3 billion. So it's there. The data is there. The data says that they are fighting. Let's check out those contracts. They're up to 31K on those. They've slowed down a little bit on adding, right? So it's not what I want to see, um, but I still think it is um, a good trade based off of this. Actually, even the chart is really what I'm looking at right now. I think those EMAs are gonna eventually just lead to a slow grind higher, and eventually I think my contract's gonna go in the money. Um, let's see. Same thing with Apple. Apple, we're in the green, baby. We're in the green. Apple, man. You know what? Apple's moving, guys. Hello, Apple. We got net positive volume. Big jump on Apple. Wow. Net positive volume moving higher in a mountain like direction. That puts her negative, falling even deeper negative. In fact, they're about to kiss. Look, the tip of net volume is about to hit the tip of net put premiums. They're being sold so hard, right? So this is a beautiful manifestation. I actually have a name for that. I forget what I call it, but yeah, you saw volume jump right before our eyes just 1 second ago, and Apple is out of here. Wow, contracts are up on Apple. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Hello, hello, guys. Apple, anyone? No one? I didn't alert it in the text format just because I have to be careful now because I'm streaming on Twitter too, and I have to kind of just you know. But yeah, I mean, Apple and Microsoft were the two setups that I said were the best setups on the market all morning. All of this is recorded. I'll be posting it so that you can see what I saw. I did say that Apple was what the dip buy was there, right? So hopefully someone got in on that. If not, then I suppose it's my fault. Um, but yeah, Apple's where it's at right now too. Man, Microsoft needs to wake up. Come on, buddy. I'm up 42%, zero DTE. Apple, nice, very good. Man, he's hitting it today, as he should. Yeah, I'm up a few on Apple as well right now, but I did close it, so I'm done with Apple. But I think Apple is a good setup for the next few days. Look at the daily chart on Apple. In fact, actually, Apple's a good setup today. Shoot, Apple's still a good setup today. Let's keep watching Apple. It's early, but look at the daily chart on Apple. If you're looking, guys, this right here is called a trampoline. You know what a trampoline is? Something that you bounce off of and you go higher. This right here. These two EMAs are big trampolines possibilities for Apple. And then with this wick right here, with this wick right here, what this means is that buyers were in control at some point here on August 18th. They were in control August 19th, and then August 20th they were in control. They pushed it up to 320. They got some money there. They got some interest there, but bears took over, right? So here, now that we've kind of like reached sort of a consolidation here, and we're having a big candle here. If this candle continues to stay strong like this with a big body, I think Apple can move up to 320, back up to 320. Come on, Microsoft. There we go. Dude, we need more call premium on Microsoft, man. We're up to 32K on those 495s. Man, we need more call premium, dude. We need more money. We got about 5 mil in there right now. Dude, push it up to freaking 15, man. Come on. All you Twitter furus, can you buy calls on Microsoft? What's a spy doing? Yeah, so Spy, I did mention that we had some negative total, excuse me, negative gamma exposure above price. Actually, let me move this to volume. So what I did there, guys, is you want to move this right here from directionalized volume, which I think is the default, to total volume. Okay, directionalized volume is something a little bit that's kind of like matrixy. It's a little bit backwards. I can teach you that maybe on a one-on-one if you're interested, but total volume is where you want to find the easy data, and it's pretty balanced right now. It's pretty balanced. Total volume is pretty balanced right now. You can see that we're trading at 766 for SPY, and there's what is this, 3 billion. There's 3 billion and 2 billion net positive gamma exposure above total volume, but then there's also 2 billion and another 2 billion below. So there's sort of this tug of war that's sort of going on right now. Price is at 766. Let's see which strikes they're adding on. So it looks like they're adding on this positive gamma up here at 767. So perhaps maybe price might bounce in this area. Let's see, 980, 39. Let's see, 539, 536. 538, 582. Yeah, it looks like they're adding at 767. So maybe this dip might be bought, guys. So be careful with this dip. I wouldn't chase this dip. But let's see what happens though. Let's see what happens, because the total volume here, 583, 587. Let me see, 883, 886, 890, 895. Actually, yeah, they're adding on negative camo. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe they're. It looks like it's not. It's yeah. No, actually, they're adding on negative gamma. They're adding at 765. So be careful with SPY right now. Net volume for holdings has flipped negative. Oof. Microsoft is not gonna like that. Oh no, I knew that. Oh man, Microsoft. All right, let me check my contract. Oh my gosh, I'm back down tremendously. Well, I did say to do some due diligence with Microsoft. What's net volume at right now? 4,000? Hmm. Let's see. Damn, dude, these dropped hard. Let's see. Let's see if they add on them. Let's see if they add. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's not over yet. Damn, I'm still down so much though. Oh my gosh. Well, here we are. Let's see what Apple's doing now. Yeah, Apple slowed down a little bit. So Nvidia I wasn't interested in because both premiums were positive. So I'm just not interested in that. Tesla the same thing. Um, Amazon I think was making a move or something, right? Ooh, but then freaking net put so Amazon net volume is flip floppy. So stay away from that. I'm good off that today. Amazon, let's see, Meta had some good news today on Meta, but then it dropped like a rock. Wow. So Meta is bearish, guys. Meta is bearish right now. Total bear domination right now. In fact, shorting this pop was the easiest thing to do. I probably should have told you that had I been looking at Meta, guys. Meta downside. Hello, Meta downside. Meta downside. Meta downside. Meta downside. If you're not on a live stream, you're just gonna have to miss this. You know. Ooh, you know what? Actually, this EMA might catch it. So let's be careful here. On the daily, this EMA might catch it. So let's just be careful. But Meta is so bearish right now. Short anything that pops on Meta. If it pops higher, short it. Short anything that pops on Meta. Um, Meta is bearish, guys. Meta is super bearish. Oh, Microsoft. Hello. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's popping. It's pretty. It's up there. It's flagging. It's bull flagging. It's on it. It's on the EMA. It's going up the way. It's going high and high. You better get on by. You better jump on in. Cause it's going up. Straight to 500. Come on, boys. Oh, it's go. Hey, I think Microsoft likes my song, guys. Oh my gosh, it's going up to 5. It's going up to 5. It's increasing the volume. We're playing that song. Ew, what song is this, dude? Do they not understand that I'm a alternative 2000s guy? Come on, let's play a little Chemical Romance. It's going up the way. Microsoft is blowing. I'm dancing my way to green because I am in. Are you smiling, guys? Microsoft likes my song, and we going up to 500. Why don't we squeeze it up to 500? Because I am the Scholar Club, and I am the Scholar Club, and we are going to 500. Oh yeah, 500. Why don't we squeeze it up to 500? Because we got that total volume jacks. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Come on, guys. This is real money we're making here. So, Amazon, or excuse me, Microsoft, I bought one contract of 490 calls this morning. And I'm up pretty good. Like, really, really good. I bought at 430 and they're at 643. So Microsoft is all right now, but I'm still red on it though. Like my total position is red, negative 40%. So I need this thing to go all the way to 500, dude. So total volume right now is 1.7 bill. Can we see 2 billion on total volume for Microsoft? Can My Chemical Romance take us up there? You grow up, will you be the savior of this looking? Cause Microsoft wants to squeeze. Yes, it does. And we're in those call options. Yes, we are. We're going up to the 500 level. Yes, we are. Because I got call options on Microsoft, so I need it to freaking squeeze. But it's not doing that right now. Oh my gosh. But wait a minute, this freaking wick means that it can go higher. So I'm gonna stay in my position and wait for it to squeeze, for it to squeeze. Cause I'm not a freaking weenie. I'm gonna trust the data. We've got positive volume. So I don't really care that it's coming down right now. I really think that it's gonna squeeze. Alright guys, sorry that was stupid. Yeah, so I'm in Microsoft calls right now, guys, and I think it's gonna squeeze for real. We're up to 34K on those 495 calls, so they're adding on it, but they're adding slowly, you know. They're adding slowly. Um, they're adding slowly. Damn, dude, what the heck was that, bro? Why is it dropping so much? Gosh, bro, this thing, bro, Microsoft is gonna blow, bro. Come on, man. Never break my heart. Let's check out some volatility. IV rank is at 24. It's probably the lowest it's ever been. Nah, not the lowest. Let's check out total volume. Let's see. Let's check out that heat map. What are they adding on? Zero DTEs. And dude, guys, 497 and 495 are such big targets, bro. And I really think that they're going to be adding on those gamma exposure total volume, right? Are we on total volume? Yes, we are. We're on total volume, right? And you can see that, dude, they can add. They're adding on these, bro. You know, 490s, or excuse me, 495s. You see a seven. What is this? 7 million. This is 7 million. 3 million, right? So, dude, man, it's there, man. I just need them to stop fooling around with the price action, dude. Come on. Oh my gosh, Microsoft, what is going on? Oh no, come on, guys. Oh man, Microsoft is leaking right now. Let's got the 15-minute time frame and see what's going on. Ooh, yeah, it doesn't look the. Oh no, it looks like it just wants to come down, touch this EMA, and then squeeze higher. So I'm gonna stay in this Microsoft position. Um, I took profits on 490 calls, so you know this stinks. Wow, why is it dropping so hard? Oh my gosh, did something happen? Why is 496 such a freaking resistance, dude? Oh my gosh. Oh no, volume is dissipating. What's going on? Is someone selling? Dude, who is selling? 500 calls? Ew, did someone sell 500 calls? Oh my gosh, dude, someone sold 500 calls, I think. Ew, bro. Oh my gosh. Yeah, someone probably got out of their position. going on, dude? I saw someone sell 1 million of their 2026 on buy from Microsoft. Wow. Let me check the chat real quick. Do this for a few moments. Oh, nice. Thank God, Harlem. Thank God, nice. No more singing, yeah. Sorry. Microsoft popping. Oh my gosh, bro. Microsoft dropped as soon as I started singing, man. Palantir, did I miss Palantir? I got shares. I got shares on another account. Yeah, please, for real. Wow, good job. I don't know how you did that, but you did that, man. Good job, bro. Microsoft, yeah. All right, good. So it looks like a few people made some pretty good profits on Microsoft. And whoa, my gosh. Okay, Microsoft is scaring me at the moment, dude. Yeah, you know what? I'm toast on those freaking 500 calls, bro. I'm toast. My gosh. I did some due diligence. I didn't just like leave my entire position, but I'm toast. I'm looking at the position that did leave, and it's toast, bro. It's down negative 84%. Overall, meh about Microsoft. Still red, a red trade for me. Like, didn't get any money out of Microsoft. I got some money back from 490 calls, but the 500 calls messed me up really bad. So overall, still was a red trade for me. But it looks like some people got good trades. Um, what stock did I say was super bearish? I was looking at Meta. Yeah, Meta. Okay, let's check out Meta. Okay, so we're seeing a pop on Meta right now. We're seeing a pop on Meta right now, and it's making me kind of interested in, um, you know, I don't know, looking to see the chart. Dude, Microsoft can, it can bounce. It can bounce. Microsoft can bounce off this EMA right here. So check out Meta. Okay, so Meta. Oh, Palantir, right? Someone said Palantir because I was missing that. Google's pretty bearish too. Actually, I'm looking at Google right now. They sold call premiums all the way from as high as 3 million to now negative. So something's going on with Google. I think you can short Google, guys. I think we can test some Google puts. What do you guys think? Let's take a look. Google. Yeah, like if it comes up to touch this EMA 342, if it pops really hard, I'm gonna short it. If Google pops pretty hard, I'm gonna short Google because this momentum coming down like this in this fashion is not just gonna be. It's not just gonna stop. I don't think it's just gonna stop. Well, let me see. Yeah, there's a lot of net negative volume on Google. Man, dude, I need Microsoft to wake up, bro. It's been such. I'm no longer swinging trades. The whole reason why I'm stuck in Microsoft, and if you ask me, guys, is because I've been swinging. If you've noticed, if you've been actually taking the trades I've been taking, every time I swing trade, I lose. Like literally 10 out of 10 times. I don't know what it is, but for me, I have a better hit rate of just waking up that morning and seeing something from the previous day, and then just being like, okay, I'm gonna trade that. I've had way more success in that. So um, maybe I should just stop swing trading. They're up to 36K on these 495s now. So I don't know. They're not just ignoring it, dude. But let's. Let's see. See what happens with Microsoft. Volume hasn't completely dissipated yet. And no one bought puts, by the way. No one bought puts on Microsoft. Oops. How do I? Yeah, no one bought puts. You see how flat this is, right? You see how put premiums are moving downward like this, and you know what I mean. So that tells me that during that whole sell, not one person bought puts. Um, so that's interesting, guys. If you know my method, that typically means that you don't want to chase the downside. So I don't know. That puts me in an interesting spot. There goes Google short, right? It did pop to that level. Google short. Google short. Oh my gosh, that means it's taking Microsoft with it too. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. Google short. I actually missed it. I didn't take that trade, but that was a good call, right? Google, it popped, and you short it because why? There's negative volume, right? So, man, it just sucks that I took this swing trade on Microsoft, bro. I feel like if I didn't swing Microsoft, I would have totally traded it this morning for calls, and I would have smacked it for calls easily. Especially when it dipped, you know what I mean? And I was screaming, buy the dip, buy the dip. It looks like a few people did buy the dip. But man, dude, what a missed opportunity there on even Google and Microsoft is giving me a hard time today, dude. So I'm gonna stay in this though. I'm gonna stay in. They're hitting those 500 calls too, right behind those 495s. So it's not like it's a complete. Actually, it looks like maybe they might be selling those. um, so maybe they're the ones that's contributing to the pressure. Um, so I don't know, dude. I still think Microsoft is a good setup, man. Oh yeah, Palantir, right? I'm gonna stay on for another 30 minutes. Oh yes, dude, man, I totally missed Palantir. That was my bad, man. Those two DTEs. Uh, well, volume just exceeded OI on those, and they barely squeezed $1 out of those. So Palantir, we can buy dips on Palantir for sure. Looks like net volume is being added to those, and surely they're probably even adding because, like I said, volume just exceeded OI at 705. So that was like maybe 20 minutes ago, right? And they've only got $1 out of it. So from 293 to 375. So they haven't really gotten much out of it. I anticipate that they might continue to add on that. So let's keep that in mind because it's still a good setup for Palantir, especially with it coming down from this low here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whoever said Palantir, thanks for bringing that up. But I should have listened earlier. So how's the Google short looking? And Meta also is bearish. I also did say that. Um, what is Microsoft doing? And moreover, what is SPY doing? Okay, so SPY. Last time we checked SPY, we did say that there was um, sort of um, a adding on the 765 level for negative gamma. Right now, actually, 765 is actually outweighing any positive gamma above. So you don't want to be long SPY right now. You don't want to be long SPY, but I did stay away from SPY because it was like flip floppy volume. You know what I mean? But the gamma exposure is overall net negative right now. It's not good for Microsoft unless they rotate into Microsoft. And it's not good for Apple unless they rotate into Apple. What is this song, bro? Apple looks like they want 312, 315 on the gamma exposure. Perhaps it's possible, because it is overall leaning positive gamma. So, Microsoft. It ain't over until the fat lady sings. I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell. What to do? How's Twitter? What's going on Twitter? Whoops. Does that mean that I stopped streaming? Because I got out of that? No, I guess not. Oh, damn, dude. I think I stopped streaming. That was stupid. Oh, no. I'm live now. I guess, I think. Come on, Microsoft. So Apple's still looking like a setup right now, but ooh, Nvidia. All right, so what are we thinking for Nvidia earnings? Let's take a look at that. All right, how's that sound? Is anyone interested in that? Nvidia earnings. Yeah, I just checked SPY. Uh, SPY right now is leaning downside, um, but it's sort of a tug of war. If you look closely, it's sort of a tug of war because they're selling puts, especially on holdings. If you look at like yeah, let me look at the SPY. Yeah, even on the SPY net flow, it's not like they're buying puts, but then on the holdings they're selling puts. So it's kind of like, but then there's negative volume. So it's very difficult right now. It's very flip floppy, very hard for us to establish a trend right now. And Gamma confirms that. Like if you look closely, it's leaning negative, right? Negative 3 billion or whatever, but it's if you look at the actual numbers, it's pretty balanced for SPY, for gamma exposure, for total volume gamma exposure. So right now, customers are both buying above price and selling below price, or dealers, I should say. Well, no, this is customers. This is volume, right? Open interest. Let's see what open interest. Let's see where dealers are net negative. So that's probably why price fell in that fashion. And that's something that I did mention at the pre-market note. I did say that there was a lot of negative gamma. Let me see if I can. Well, I'm not going to go to it. Um, but yeah, sometimes open interest is really aggressive. So that's probably why we experienced that big drop on SPY. Um, so maybe next time I'll look at that. Wow, dude. So I knew when Microsoft Net Call Premium kind of started stalling, we'd be in trouble. So again, make sure that you do some due diligence. Okay, let's get back to Nvidia. Let's check out Nvidia. There's so much weird activity going on Nvidia net flows. As you can see, net volume is all over the place, right? So I really would not recommend trading Nvidia right before earnings, the day of earnings. That's not what I want to do at all. Um, but gamma exposure. Let's check out gamma exposure for Nvidia. And let's do open interest, right? Let's see what dealers are doing, right? So for dealers, it looks like for Friday the 28th, with price currently at 210, it looks like they have a lot of exposure, a lot of positive gamma exposure at the 230 level. So with NVIDIA, you can see that dealers have a lot of positive gamma exposure at the 230 level, which means that they are long gamma at this level. So since they are long gamma at this level, they are actually expecting some sort of buying to take place at this level, right? And since this level is actually far outweighing or larger, if you will, it's listed as 100K, 100, like, I don't even know how to say this, right? But it's actually 100 million, right? The net gamma at 230 is 100 million, right? That's what it is. They put K, so it kind of throws me off, but it's 100 million, right? So NVIDIA market makers are long gamma at the 230 strike in a way that is far outweighing any other gamma exposure, be it negative or positive. Moreover, the next highest gamma exposure is all positive. It's nothing. So, in other words, positive gamma exposure is far outweighing negative gamma exposure. So, it's making me, really curious about how NVIDIA is going to react going into earnings. Right now, NVIDIA is trading at 210, with market makers being long gamma at this level. What that means is they are supplying liquidity to that level. So let's do a quick rundown on gamma exposure. Here we are with NVIDIA, and we have earnings for NVIDIA today. Looking at the spot gamma heat map here on Unusual Whales, you can see that for the expiration date of August 28th, you can see that market makers have a ton of positive gamma exposure above the current spot price. NVIDIA is currently trading at 210, but you can see that there's a lot more green exposure, if you will, right? All this green exposure right here, that's all positive gamma exposure at these current strikes, such as 217, 225, and the largest positive gamma exposure that NVIDIA has is at the 230 level, as you can see. So it's listed as 100K, but um, it's actually 100 million. That's really what it is. If you hover over it, you should be able to see that display here, net gamma 100 million, right? So market makers have a long gamma exposure here at this 230 level for NVIDIA going into earnings. Now, this is open interest. So this is actually from the dealer's perspective, right? So this is dealer open interest, right? As you can see. Now, since they have long gamma at that level, they are expecting buying to take place. That is the easiest way for you to understand and apply gamma exposure. You want to think about it actually like a bread baker, something that I've written before in an article on X, right? So assuming that a bread store owner is a gamma exposure, is a market maker, right? Assuming that the market maker is onto like a bread baker or a bread shop owner, right? Every morning, the market maker supplies liquidity to the market. In the same fashion, a bread store owner every morning will, if you will, bake a certain amount of loaves of bread, right? If it's 10 loaves of bread, then perhaps surely that bread baker is expecting 10 people to buy his 10 loaves of bread. So if market makers are increasing liquidity, right, in a long gamma fashion, they are supplying loaves of bread, if you will, right? They are supplying liquidity to that level at this 230 level for NVIDIA. So with it being the far outweighing level compared to any other level, it draws curiosity to say, hey, why is this market maker, why are market makers for Nvidia supplying so much liquidity to the 230 level, right? In other words, why is the bread store owner baking hundreds of loaves of bread when only 10 people live in his neighborhood, right? And you can say, hey, he's baking more bread or he's adding more liquidity because he's expecting customers, right? Customers, traders to buy at that level, perhaps, right? So, um, like the bread store owner, if he's baking hundreds of loaves of bread, maybe he's expecting, a bus full of, athletic basketball players to come into town and pass through and buy all his bread, right? Maybe he heard something on the news. Maybe he already knows what the earnings release is going to be, and so he's supplying liquidity to that level ahead of time. So this is how we can use gamma exposure to our advantage. We are able to see, hey, why is there a high gamma exposure, high positive gamma exposure at the 230 level? Well, perhaps maybe the market maker is expecting customers to come in and buy at that level. So as a market maker or as a dealer, he is supplying the liquidity to the market for the trading to take place. Just like a bread owner will supply bread to his market for buying to take place, right? So with Nvidia going into earnings and market makers long at the 230 level and supplying liquidity to that level, it sure does draw a ton of curiosity as to why they're doing that and why it's outweighing any other negative gamma or even positive gamma. Now, assuming that we begin to see that market makers are now reducing liquidity, it would be in the same fashion the bread store owner taking loaves of bread or baking less bread the following morning, right? So that's why every morning I am keen to check daily gamma exposure. Now, curious enough, today, daily gamma exposure for Nvidia actually increased. So what does this mean? It means that market makers have actually put more liquidity into the market, not too much more, just a little bit more, from 1.6 yesterday, August 25th, to 2.2 today, August 26th, going into earnings. So they increased just a little bit, and that would be like onto a bread store owner that is maybe he bakes 10 loaves of bread every morning, but today he ended up, baking, 15 loaves of bread. He bakes 5 extra more. Here it looks like they increased from 1.6 to 2.2. Is it a big jump? Probably not, because if you look at the X and Y chart here, you can see that we've had bigger jumps, like from 500K to 2.2, right? And even more, like from negative 53K to 1.9, right? So we've had bigger jumps, but certainly it does reinforce that market makers are indeed long gamma at certain strikes here on Nvidia, namely the 230 level being the largest level for long gamma exposure. So very curious stuff here. Let me know what you guys think going into earnings for Nvidia, but for day trade, I'm not trading it until the earnings are released. So that's Nvidia. That's a full breakdown on Nvidia gamma exposure and all. So it's looking like a long, guys. I'll be honest with you. It's looking like a long going into earnings, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna kind of just trade it tomorrow and see. But yeah, it's looking like a long here. Moreover, let's check out gamma exposure by strike. It's obviously, dude. So gamma exposure by strike for Nvidia, right? And again, I'm spending time on Nvidia because I believe they have earnings today, right? Is that correct or no? Let me see. Yeah, they have earnings today. So I'm spending time on Nvidia because I know a lot of people are probably going to ask, right? So 211, we're trading at 211. Now there's some mixed gamma, right, at this current level. But what Unusual Whales data suggests is that we are actually trading at what's called a put wall and it's an area of support, meaning that there's a um, there's a position there for market makers to flip negative gamma here. But before they do that, they have some unfinished business at the 230 level. So let's look at the 230 level here. And the obvious thing there is positive 12% normalized gamma exposure, which again, normalized gamma exposure takes the net gamma exposure and divides it amongst the shares available for NVIDIA, and you get a percentage to tell you how strong this net gamma actually is. So with this net gamma at 230 for NVIDIA being net gamma of 500K, that means that relative to the shares underlying for NVIDIA, the 500K net gamma exposure that market makers have at 230 is a 12% strength when you compare it to the overall body, if you will, of NVIDIA. So they are hedged pretty strongly at 12%. That means that 12% of all underlying shares are hedged at 230. I don't know typically what exactly that will, how that will exactly affect price action, but in a long gamma position, they are ultimately, it results in a higher liquidity supplication. They're supplying more liquidity. And so the psychology there is, if I see somebody supplying more liquidity to a certain strike and that person is responsible for the trading that takes place at that strike, then surely they're expecting buying to take place. It's been a consistent, proven, repeatable strategy. And yeah, so we got a confirmation here of what we see on the heat map, right? Gamma exposure by strike, normalized gamma is 12%. That confirms what we see when we look at the summary spot gamma heat map, with 230 seeing the largest hedging with 100 million. So NVIDIA is looking really, really weirdly bullish going into earnings, guys. And moreover, we have not had a single significant positive net volume day over the last 14 days, with the exception of August 12th. Since August 12th, all steam left NVIDIA, completely gone, right? So it's going to be a weird kind of thing going into earnings. But watch this, guys, watch this. When you look carefully, you see something very weird. What do you see here? You see a spike in net call premium. Very high, upwards of 40 million, far outstanding comparing it to any other spike in net call premium, except for August 12th. So in other words, since August 12th, we have not seen any significant bullish activity until yesterday, the likes of August 12th. So it puts us in a very weird position, because now we have the Avengers, right? We have net flow that is bullish with net call premium peaking high here, right? Net flow that's bullish. And then you have the heat map that is also bullish with 100 million net gamma here at 230. And it is ultimately confirmed with the, first of all, the net gamma, daily net gamma increasing from 1.6 to 2.2. And then the cherry on top, the gamma exposure by strike, showing that we have a high normalized gamma exposure at 230, upwards of 12%. NVIDIA is looking like Jensen Huang is going to get on Twitter and say, we need more chips. We need more chips. Okay, so that's a full breakdown on NVIDIA. That took some time. I'm going to stay on for another 5 minutes here. Microsoft is waking up a little bit, and hopefully we can get a move higher and get into the green in Microsoft. Hopefully also we get a nice end of day squeeze, because we already determined that NVIDIA is bullish. So it's going to be interesting going into the close here. Any last questions before I hop off? Meta is crazy. What's going on with Meta? Did I miss it? Meta was bearish, right? I said Meta was bearish, or what's going on? Oh, no, it popped. Wow. What happened? News? Oh, you know what? Meta's been having a lot of news. Meta's been having a lot of news, but look at the data. It's very misleading. You know what I mean? They're buying puts, and then all of a sudden, you know, some news comes out. So Meta is a news play, so I'm not interested in that. Let's see, Google, we got both premiums negative. That's going to be very difficult. Palantir was the best shot, and I think Palantir could continue to squeeze because net put premiums continue to hit a new low of the day. So maybe I'll watch Palantir going into the end of the day here. But other than that, here I know it was a bit less interactive show today, but I'm taking a different approach. So I want to be a little bit more careful with financial advice and things of those nature. But I'm here to help you learn. I'm here to help you, learn my psychology and read things the way I do. Because when I catch those 1,000 percenters and those big gains and stuff like that, you know, the question is, well, how did he do that? And that's why I'm here to show you how I do it, right? Not to trade for you, not to determine your trades or anything. Sure, I'll share my trades, but I'm gonna lose, guys. I'm gonna win and I'm gonna lose. So that's why I make my services. So wow, Tesla. Oh my gosh, did I say Tesla was bearish? I should have. If I didn't, that's why I make my services so available because I'm in it with you. I'm in it with you. So we're in it together. Amazon's making a move, man. Stuff's making a move right now. Hopefully, it takes Microsoft really, really, into the move. Again, like I said, Microsoft. Last word on Microsoft, man. They want 500 now. Look, they want 500 now. Zero DTEs, 35K, 35K. That's 35 mil. That's what it is. It's not 35K, right? It's 35 mil. Okay. So 35 mil, 54 mil, and it's far outweighing anything else on the Richter scale here by strike. So it's looking good for Microsoft. It's not over yet, but we need some more volume. We need some more volume in a quick hurry. So tell your friends. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, those 495s are up to 39K. Mostly at the bid, so it doesn't look like they're adding much because it's so slow also. But hey, prove me wrong, Microsoft. Let's do it, baby. Right? My contracts are still $5 away, man. Man. So I'm still underwater on Microsoft big time. Okay. I do not see any. Well, let me check any last things here. Any last remarks? I'm not seeing any last remarks from Atlantic Trading. Is Microsoft back? Microsoft needs a move here. Can you check Apple? Yeah, Apple still looks strong also. Apple, remember I said Apple I think is a really good setup for the next few days. Because when you look at the chart for Apple, it just looks too good. The daily chart for Apple looks too good. It looks like it wants to come off a trampoline. Like here, right? If this candle stays big body like this going into close, I recommend swinging Apple because I think it's going to retest the highs of 320 in the coming weeks, maybe about 3 weeks out. So maybe I'll look more into that and comment more on that as we go throughout the day and stuff. But Apple's looking strong, very, very strong. For today, I definitely wouldn't target any zero DTEs. Let's see what those are at right now for Apple. Oh, come on, what's going on? Maybe you might be, from 20 to 40. Yeah, you might get that, but be very careful, because it's zero DTE. The next target is 2 days to expiration. It looks like those are the 315s for Apple. Volume just exceeded OI on those, and they haven't gotten anything out of them yet. So maybe they can squeeze a little bit out of this. Maybe they can swing that. Apple 315 calls expiring 8/28. They're pretty cheap right now, about $1.75. Maybe set a limit buy for maybe $1.50. See if you get filled. But I'll also actually look at Apple myself. And I'll look at it in that kind of a mentality as well. I'm not just telling you that. Okay. So that being said, man, everyone that could have, that was on here, and a few people that that got some profits. Good job. Um, but kind of a mediocre morning for me. So um, good news is I didn't take any extra losses. Right, I'm just kind of sitting in Microsoft, just hoping for it to blow yonder. So appreciate you guys as always, and if there's anything that I can do for you, let me know. Um, you know, um, I'm new at this. I don't do it full time, so but I'm available for you, and I'm available most of the time. Wow, dude, you guys seeing Microsoft right now? Microsoft big spike in net call premium, guys. Look at my screen. Ooh, Atlantic. You're like, what screen? Here's Microsoft. Big spike in net call premium for Microsoft. The highest it's been all day. It's up to 9.2. I think Microsoft can move higher. I really think it can. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because this net call premium is big. Big spike in net call premium. All right, guys. It's 8 a.m. It's been about nearly. It's been about an hour and a half. I won't push it. It's been about an hour and a half. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off the stream now. This should be available on replay. So just hopefully you can watch this and kind of learn how to read the market from the beginning, kind of back test a little bit. I think Microsoft is going to go back to 496-ish. Let's see. What is that? Yeah, 496. Microsoft's going to go back to 496. Strongly believe that based off of that big spike in net calls that we just looked at and the price to premium gap theory. We should be headed back to 496 previous high of day. And once we get there, hopefully we can go to freaking 497 and then 500, man, because I need 500. Okay. Well, that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and begin to disconnect little by little. I'm in Microsoft with you. Hopes it takes off. Yeah, dude, me too. Yeah. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. So I will begin to wind down here. Thanks everyone for being here. Hopefully we can get you guys we can get some good trades. All right, guys, I'm out. Have a good day. We'll be in the chat talking.